Hi, this is Craig from Craig Academy, and today we're going to be learning about perfect competition in factor markets. So, perfect competition is an idealized scenario in economics in which all firms are at an equal playing field. And traditionally, firms are the producers and the household consumers are the buyers. But in factor markets, the firms are the buyers and the household consumers are the sellers, and households are selling the factors of production. So perfect competition in general is defined by, first, a large number of firms. Second, there must be identical products. So this means that if, say, the factor of production that the households were selling was labor, each quantity of labor would have to be equal. Third, there must be freedom of entry and exit, so anybody at any time can leave or enter. Also, there can be no advantage to pre-existing firms, so if a new firm joined, they would not be at a disadvantage. And finally, there must be perfect knowledge, so there are no restrictions on the knowledge that can be distributed to the sellers or the buyers. So down here we have an example. Let's say there's the firm Schultz's Slushies, and you can see on this graph here, this shows the workers on the x-axis, and this shows the wage on the y-axis. So where demand meets supply, at 5 workers, each getting paid $10 an hour, that is the equilibrium point. And on the graph over here, the equilibrium point is where the supply and the marginal revenue product intersect. So let me just explain a few things here. The marginal factor cost is equal to the supply, and the marginal factor cost shows how much factor cost is affected by hiring an additional worker. So at $10, that would be how much it costs for each additional worker, and that's where the supply is, because it would not be beneficial to either raise or lower it. And over here, the downward sloping curve is the marginal revenue product, and this shows the change in revenue from hiring one additional worker, and you can see that it's decreasing due to the law of diminishing marginal returns. And so if you started off at, say, 1 worker, it would have a high revenue, but if you keep hiring more and more, your revenue would be less and less, which is why at equilibrium it's at 5 in the middle. So these equilibrium points are both profit maximizing and they are the most efficient. So you can see on this one that if you tried raising the wage up, you would be losing profit, obviously, because that would be a higher wage. You'd lose money. And if you tried to lower it, then there would be less workers that actually want to be hired by you since they're being paid less. So it's not profit maximizing if you try to adjust it in any other way except for this equilibrium point. And it's also the most efficient because here the marginal revenue product equals the factor price, so the value of the goods produced equals the value of the goods that are not produced. Therefore, the society cannot generate more overall satisfaction by producing more or less of that good. So you can see here that these are the equilibrium points and not a lot can be done to adjust them in perfect competition. So I hope you enjoyed this video and learned a lot. If you have any questions, please leave a comment down below. Have a nice day.